Hey everyone, welcome back to my 365-day journeys of building a personal brand. This trip isn't just about techniques or tools, it's about the heart and the mindset that takes us further than we ever thought possible. Today, I want to take you back to look at the sky again, but not the empty sky we see today. I'm talking about a sky that used to feel a whole lot smaller when the queen of the skies was reigning over it. Have you ever felt that deep regret of something truly magnificent, realizing its true value only after it's gone? That feeling that we lived alongside a modern wonder but maybe took it for granted until it became just a memory. Today's story is about dreams with wings. A dream that weighed over 600 tons and once proved to humanity that nothing is too heavy for human effort to lift into the heavens. I'm talking about the legend, the Antonov An-225, or as we lovely call her, Mriya. Many of you might know Mriya from the heartbreaking headlines a few years ago when she was destroyed amidst the fires of war in Ukraine. The images of that majestic aircraft turned into twist. Scorched metal didn't just represent a material loss, it spoke harsh worldwide, not just in the aviation community, but for anyone with a dream. Because Mriya in Ukrainians means dream. And watching a dream get destroyed right in front of your eyes, that always hurts. Today, I'm not just going to recite history from a page. I'm going to decode the spirit of this giant to see what it can teach us. About making the impossible possible. About building business structure like the SEO strategies I love. And about the heart of a fighter that refuses to give up, even when broken. Imagine this with me. Go back to the 80s. The Cold War is at its peak, and the space race between superpowers is heating up. The Soviet Union had a massive challenge. They needed to transport their space shuttle, the Buran, which was colossal. Basically, the nation hoped to the launch site. But here was the impossible problem. There was no vehicle on Earth, no train, no trucks, no plane, big enough to handle that kind of size and weight. That's what the moment engineers decided to throw out the rule book on physics and build an engineering monster from scratch. Mriya wasn't built to be just another cargo plane. She was built to be a flying launch pad capable of shouldering a galactic mission. If you can picture how big she was, think of a standard football field where players run themselves ragged. Mriya's wingspan was wider than that entire field. Her fuselage was so long you could stuff an entire Boeing 737 inside her belly comfortably. This was a scale that forces gravity to work overtime. Engineers had to brainstorm how to lift this massive weight off the ground. They used six massive propellers, the AT&T turbofan engines lined up under the wings, whereas most giant planes only used two or four. This immense thrust was generated to create enough lift to drag a maximum takeoff weight of 640 tons into the clouds. It's basically like making an entire apartment block fly. But the amazement doesn't stop at size, it's about the structure. Think about it. When landing with that much weight, the impact force is insane. Normal landing gear would have exploded or snapped like twigs. So Mriya had the most complex landing gear system in the world, featuring 32 wheels lined up in rows to distribute that weight onto the runway. This was a design calculated down to the finest detail to beat the law of physics. Picture this. If you place 600 tons down on a single point or just a few wheels, even the thickest concrete runway would crack and shatter. So, engineers gave this giant 32 feet to shoulder the load and spread it gently across the ground. That's it, the art of engineering hidden in the details, allowing a giant this size to land anywhere without destroying the airport. Talking about greatness, in the abstract is one thing, but if we don't look at the concrete numbers, we can't really grasp the sheer scale of its value, right? So I did some homework to dig deep for you guys. Let's say hypothetically we wanted to go shopping or build a project on the level of Mriya today. How much budget would we need? And what are the real specs hidden under those giant wings? To make it clear, let me walk you through this spec sheet and estimated price list I have put together. Let's look at the size first. See those numbers, 84 meters and 88 meters. To put that in perspective, the very first flight by the Wright brothers was shorter than Mriya fuselage. It's literally a small skyscraper flying on its side. Next up, power, a payload of 250 tons. Imagine lifting 4 or 5 heavy tanks or about 20 city buses. Mriya lifts that into the sky as easily as lifting a feather, thanks to the thrust from those 6 giant engines you see in the table. The raw during takeoff was said to vibrate right through to your core. And my personal highlight is wheels. 32 wheels. You know how expensive it feels just to change 4 tires on a car? Imagine 32 lined up like a giant centipede legs to keep over 600,000 kilograms of sinkings into the tarmac. This is a masterpiece of weight distribution engineering that no one has ever replicated. But what I really want you to focus on are the last 3 lines, especially that bottom line where I cite the source. You heard that right, 3 billion US dollars. That is the ceiling figure estimated by Buran, Ukraine's state defense conglomerate. For what is good course, and over 5 years of time to wake this sleeping giant. What does that number tell us? It tells us that greatness always comes with a price, whether it's a monetary price or the price of effort. In the world of personal branding or business, it's the same. Cheap and good might exist, but great and legendary is never free. If you want Mriya level results that impact the world and can carry massive success, you have to be willing to invest. Invest effort in creating the best content, invest time in deep learning, and invest your heart in waiting patiently for the day your engine is ready to take off. If we just look at the accounting books, Mriya was a machine that burned through a massive budget, fuel, maintenance, you name it. So, why did the world love her? Why did so many people cry like they lost a best friend when she was destroyed? The answer isn't in her size, it's in the value she delivered. Mriya didn't just fly, she performed missions no one else on Earth could. She was the only one. Remember the pandemic crisis? While the world was facing shortage, Mriya was a beacon of hope, transporting massive amounts of masks and medical supplies in a single flight to help humanity. Or during natural disasters, she airlifts gigantic power generators to restore light to darkened regions. She acts as the enabler, the one who turned difficult, seemingly impossible problems into possibilities. This is a masterclass level lesson for us content creators and entrepreneurs. Today, we have to ask ourselves, are we like Mriya? Are we carrying our customer problems more than anyone else? Or are we just making shallow content that blows away with the wind? Are we delivering value that no one else can? It's the same with YouTube. If your content is like fluffy and has no substance, it's like a paper airplane. You throw it, it glides for a second, and then crashes to the floor, disappearing from the feed. But if your content is packed with quality, deep with data, and sincere in solving problems, like the 600-ton weight of Mriya, it might seem heavy at first. It takes time to build. It takes force to lift off. But once it's hit cruising altitude, it flies farther, steadier, and becomes more memorable than anything else out there. But then, the cruelest test arrived. On February 27, 2022, The world heard the bad news no one wants to believe. Mriya was destroyed at Hostomel Airport in Ukraine. The images showed a chariot wreck, the nose cone broken, and balls like someone exhausted. The wings that once spanned the sky torn apart. The black smoke rising into the air didn't just burn metal. It felt like it burned the heart of aviation lovers everywhere. Many said it's over, the legend is dead. But guys, I want you to remember the translation of her name. Mriya means dream. A plane made of metal can be bombed. Engines can stop turning. Structures can be crushed until nothing is left. But a dream cannot be killed. As soon as the news spread, instead of despairing, engineers, pilots, and fans worldwide started talking about a rebuild. Crowdfunding started, plans were drawn up to take parts from a second, unfinished sister ship and combine them with the surviving parts. This taught me something profound. In these 365-day journeys of building a self, or in any of your life journeys, there will be days when we crash. There will be days when a video flops, view drops, business crumbles, or criticism hits you like a bomb in the chest. But as long as our core values or our dream is clear, as long as we know why we are doing this, we will never die from people's memories. We might have to ground ourselves for a while to repair our wings. We might have to tear down some structures and rebuild, but we will fly again. And next time, we might be even more majestic and stronger than before. The Antonov An-225 Mriya wasn't just a plane. It was a symbol of human capability. It was a monument reminding us that if we can make 600 tons of heavy metal fly, then what about our personal brand? What about our business? We have two hands, a brain, and a beating heart. Why can't we push them to soar and touch the horizon? For my project today, I don't want you to just remember the aircraft specs or the technical numbers. I want you to remember this feeling. Build your foundation solid like Mriya's 32 wheels. Have knowledge that is powerful and actionable like her 6 engines. And have a dream that no one can destroy, just like her name. If you like this story blending technology, business, and inspiration, don't forget to hit subscribe. It really encouraged me on this journey. And if anyone out there has a dream that feels too big and you are scared, you can make it happen. Drop a comment below. I'll read them and cheer you on. Because I believe with all my heart, every dream deserves its wings. For today, I'm Mick signing off. See you in the next video.